Most people believe that betrayal breaks you, that when someone you trusted completely turns against you, something inside you dies. And maybe it does. But what if that is not the end of the story?
Yusuf
What
is
if
such a
betrayal, as
blessing to
painful
our
as it
community.
is sometimes the
Always
beginning
the
of
first
something
to
you
help,
could never
a
have built
truly
any other
kind
way?
heart.
This is not a story about revenge.
I
This is
always
not a
love
story about
walking through
forgiveness
these
either.
fields.
This is a story about
Me
what
too,
one
my
man
friend.
chose to do
It is the
with the
most
most painful
beautiful
moment of his
sight.
life.
We are
And what
truly
happened
blessed
because
to
of
live
that
here.
choice changed everything. My name is Hamza, and I want you to stay with me until the very end, because the ending of this story is something most people will never see coming. In a small village
I always
surrounded
love
by
walking
green
through
hills
these
and wheat
fields.
fields, there lived two
Me too,
young
my
men
friend.
who had been
It is
best
the
friends
most
since
beautiful
childhood.
sight.
The
We are
first was
truly
Yusuf.
blessed to live here.
Yusuf was kind, hardworking, and deeply loyal. He was not the richest man in the village. He was not the most educated, but everyone who knew him said the same thing. If Yusuf is your friend, you never have to worry. He kept secrets. He showed up when things were hard. He gave without being asked. The second young man was Bilal. Bilal and Yusuf had grown up on the same street. They had played together as children, worked together as young men, and shared every important moment of their lives. Yusuf trusted Bilal the way most people only trust themselves, completely, without question, without doubt. That trust would cost him everything. For 3 years, Yusuf had been carefully saving money to open a small grain trading business. Every coin he earned, he set aside. He went without new clothes. He ate simple food. He worked extra hours when others rested. And when the time finally came, he shared his plan with Bilal. Not because he needed Bilal's money, but because he wanted his oldest friend to be part of something he had built. "Come with me," Yusuf said. "We will build this together." Bilal smiled and agreed. They started the business together. For the first few months, everything was good. They worked side by side. They shared the responsibilities. They built something real. But slowly, Yusuf began to notice small things, numbers that did not match, deliveries that arrived late without explanation, payments that seemed to disappear before they reached the books. When Yusuf asked Bilal about these things, Bilal always had an answer. "It was a mistake. I will fix it. There was a problem with the supplier. It will not happen again. You worry too much. Trust me." And Yusuf trusted him because he was Bilal. One afternoon, a merchant from a nearby town came to Yusuf's home with a document. He said quietly, "I think you should see this." The document showed that Bilal had been secretly diverting a portion of the business income into his own account for over a year. Not small amounts. Almost half of everything the business had earned. Yusuf sat with the document in his hands for a long time. He did not shout. He did not cry. He simply became very still. That night he confronted Bilal. Bilal did not deny it. He looked at Yusuf and said, "I needed the money. You always have enough. You would have been fine." Those words hit Yusuf harder than the betrayal itself. Not the theft, not the lies, but the fact that Bilal had looked at his loyalty and decided it was something that could be used. Yusuf said nothing more. He walked out of the room and he never spoke to Bilal again. The village talked about it for weeks. Some people felt sorry for Yusuf. Some people said he should take Bilal to the village council and demand justice. Some people said he should never have trusted anyone in business. Everyone had an opinion, but Yusuf did something no one expected. He did nothing. No complaint to the council, no public accusation, no demand for repayment, absolutely nothing. People were confused. "Yusuf, why are you not fighting back? He stole from you. He lied to you. You are just going to let this go?" Yusuf listened to everyone quietly. Then he said something that the village would repeat for years afterward. "A man who spends his energy on revenge has no energy left to build." While everyone waited for Yusuf to fight, Yusuf went back to work, alone this time. He reorganized what was left of the business. He was honest with every supplier about what had happened. He rebuilt relationships one conversation at a time. It was slower, it was harder, but it was completely his. For the first time in his life, every decision was made by him alone. Every success was earned by him alone. Every relationship was built on trust that he himself had created. And something strange happened. Without a partner who was quietly taking, The business began to grow. Not quickly, not dramatically, slowly, steadily. The way real things grow. A year passed, then two. Yusuf's small grain trading business had become one of the most respected in the region, not because he was the biggest, but because every farmer, every merchant, every buyer who worked with him said the same thing. Yusuf's word is his bond. In a world full of people who said one thing and did another, Yusuf's simple, consistent honesty had become the rarest and most valuable thing he possessed. Meanwhile, Bilal had used the stolen money to start his own venture. For a short time, it looked successful. But a business built on dishonesty cannot stand on its own. Within 18 months, Bilal's venture had collapsed. His reputation in the village was gone. The people who had once respected him now crossed the street to avoid him. He had gained money for a short time. He had lost everything that actually mattered. One winter evening, there was a knock on Yusuf's door. He opened it. Bilal was standing there. He looked older, thinner. His eyes carried something that had not been there before. Shame. He said, "I came to apologize, not because I want anything from you, just because I needed you to know that I understand what I did." Yusuf looked at him for a long moment. Then he said, "Come inside. Have some tea." Bilal was surprised. He had expected anger. He had expected to be turned away. He had not expected kindness. They sat together in silence for a while. Then Yusuf spoke. "I was angry for a long time," he said. "Not at what you took, at what you thought of me. You thought my loyalty was something that could be used, that hurt more than the money." Bilal looked down. Yusuf continued, "But I realized something. The moment I decided not to fight you, I made the most important decision of my life. I chose to put all my energy into building instead of destroying. And that decision changed everything." Bilal was quiet. Then he said softly, "How did you do it? How did you not hate me?" Yusuf thought for a moment. Then he said, "Because hating you would have given you something that was never yours to have, a place inside my mind, and that was the one thing I was never willing to give you." Friends, betrayal is one of the most painful things a person can experience. When someone you trusted completely chooses to use that trust against you, it leaves a mark that does not disappear overnight. But there is a choice that every betrayed person must make, and it is the most important choice they will ever face. Do you spend your energy on the person who hurt you, or do you spend your energy on the life you still have the power to build? Yusuf chose to build, not because what Bilal did was acceptable, not because the pain was small, but because Yusuf understood something that very few people understand in the middle of their pain. The person who betrayed you already took something from you once. Do not let them take your future too. When you pour your energy into anger, into revenge, into replaying what happened over and over again, you are giving the person who hurt you exactly what they already took: your time, your focus, your peace, your energy. The most powerful response to betrayal is not revenge. It is becoming so focused on your own path that the betrayal becomes a small chapter in a much larger story. Yusuf did not forgive Bilal because what Bilal did was right. He moved forward because his future was worth more than his anger. And the most unexpected thing of all, the man who was betrayed became stronger than the man who betrayed him. Not because of what he was given, because of what he chose to do with what was taken. If you are carrying a betrayal right now, I want you to hear this. What was done to you was not okay. You do not have to pretend it did not hurt. But do not let it steal one more day from you. The person who betrayed you is already living with what they did. Your job is not to make them pay. Your job is to build something so strong, so honest, so real, that the betrayal becomes the reason your story is worth telling. Because sometimes the people who hurt us most are unknowingly pushing us toward the version of ourselves we could never have become without the pain. And that is the unexpected gift buried inside every betrayal. If this story touched something inside you today, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Because someone in your life right now is being destroyed by a betrayal they did not deserve. And maybe your share is the reminder they need to choose building over breaking. Subscribe for more stories that help you improve your mindset, your English, and your life. Thank you for watching, and remember, the most powerful response to betrayal is becoming someone the betrayal could never have created any other way.